Namaste. I'm Ramakrishna. Thank you all for joining. It's lovely to see all your faces. This is such a special day, actually, it's Ganesh Chaturthi. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi. Happy Ganesh's birthday. We didn't plan that, but we're here with Tatya and Tobias, and we're doing this beautiful power journey together for the Kumbh Mela. And Tatya, can you come on? What's up? Oh, okay. We have a little, let's see what's happening here. But doing it together, I mean, it is a Kumbh Mela. And Kumbh Mela really means, like Swami would talk about that. What does Kumbh mean? Kumbh means pot or gathering place. And he would talk about like the womb chakra, the creation chakra, the thing that can create as a Kumbh, like a Mela. And then Mela means like gathering together. So gathering souls together and doing certain processes together, we learned is how big things are achieved. You actually, to do it alone by yourself is it's a lot more difficult. It's a lot more challenging. And so that is why all these souls come together. I mean, you have yogis and sadhus and gurus and men and women coming together, coming out of the mountains. They're just meditating in the pure nature. They dedicated their life completely, and it looks wild. I mean, without context, it's hard. I mean, we understand it's a spiritual gathering, but really the depth of it is hard. It's hard to express, maybe impossible to express, but we'll try while we're there, sharing whatever we understand, and meeting. We'll get to walk among those souls, and you never know. Like even in Penakonda where we were, there was like a couple of, we would call them avaduts, like super souls, highest level souls, can do anything. They're like walking little gods. Like they look like, they're wearing like a gas station suit sitting on the side of the street all dirty, and like a beggar, and you have no idea unless if they want you to see them. But also Swami would tell us that guy's an avadut, go talk to him. He did that for a few times with me. Go get that thing from him, go give this to him. And it was like, him? Like, so one guy would be in a temple, one guy would sleep on the road, one guy looked like a dirty gas station attendant. He literally had like a gray thing, but he was an avadut. He could, do whatever.
Maybe we can say a few words. What does it mean, avadut? Because
yeah,
we will get to interact with a lot of avaduts, I guess. Like you just say, normally they don't. They're not so much seen in the public, and they are totally focused on their sadhana. And their souls, they have a super high, clear consciousness, no fear, super siddhic abilities. They can do healings. They can change a person's life.
Astrology,
just astrology, purify karmas, like take away pain just by looking at you and sending a thought. They have such a strong connection to the divine energy, to the 5 elements. Actually, they're beyond the 5 elements. That's the avadut, and they can do anything. And if those souls are coming together at the Mela, we are basically joining with our energy, with our consciousness. We are taking a bath in that super high spiritual energy. And then taking a bath together with them in the holy, this is also the spot where we're taking the holy dip. It's 3 rivers coming together, right? It's the holy Ganga. Then what is the next one? Yamuna and Saraswati. So all 3 Shaktis are there, and that's at a super auspicious day when the sun, the moon, and Jupiter, have a special constellation. So, and that at that time, one of the most auspicious bathing dates, we are taking a holy bath, and then we are completely getting rid of whatever keeps us away of reaching our final destiny. And that's also the highest Brahma consciousness, the highest consciousness, to reach healing abilities, first of all, to receive healing in our own personal life, but then also to completely have a shortcut for our spiritual evolution, to move forward in a fast track way. And I think that's that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, and it's a lot to talk about. We'll talk about when we're there. We'll have time to sit and we'll have a beautiful
Yeah,
place to do that.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and it's hard to. And my experience of we've both been to males before, and this is a 12 year, and there's also they have different spots, and this is like you were saying, this is the main Mela, Kumbh Mela spot, the big one on the 12
the
years always
big one.
happens
Yeah,
Allahabad because of those three rivers, and those are each one is an aspect of like Shiva's wife, right? Vishnu's Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Brahma's wife, Vishnu's wife, Shiva's wife. Those three rivers are the embodiments of that coming together. So it's all three, all six, all energies, all creation energies in that spot on that day, on that
yeah,
new moon day, the highest bathing day. So that's the main day. It's going to be millions of people there and millions of super souls, like you're saying. 1 second, one look glance is enough. They don't need to talk to you. They don't need they know everything already. They just and in the autobiography of a yogi, Yogananda talks about that, and Babaji showing up there, and Sri M talks about that, his experiences with Babaji at the Kumbh Mela, and like wherever there's a lot of divine souls there, the divine is going to be there. You know what I mean? The divine is going to be there. Angels, divine souls. It's a huge, it's not just in the world, it's otherworldly. And walking amongst that, just walking and sleeping there is a big deal. It's all on the soul level.
yeah.
But
That's
shall we get into the itinerary a little bit, Tatiana?
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Super.
So Varanasi, this is near Allahabad. It's a few hours away by car. Um, and this is what we're talking about. It's gone by many names, right? Kashi. So we'll see some quotes. Kashi Banaras. They used to call it Kashi Banaras. Now they call it Varanasi. Uh, but it's basically Shiva and Shakti's home. And they say from this place, Shiva rules the entire universe here in Mount Kailash. And so many stories and so many histories over millennia and millennia, miracles of saints and people, normal people, this incredible, they're like yogis in the burning ghats. This is the mecca of of Hinduism. When you die, the greatest thing would be to be burned, your body burned. They'll be carried to the city because Shiva's walking there, because to be burned in his presence and to remove your karmas and all that and get liberation. And yeah, go to that next slide. And here's Babaji's quote on it from Yogananda. The city of light is one of the most ancient and spiritually significant places on earth. Those who are drawn here are led by their karma and souls longing for liberation. In this sacred city, the grace of Lord Shiva flows abundantly to those who seek it with a pure heart. That is, all these things are really true. You have to experience this. Kashi is where the mind dissolves in the bliss of the infinite. A moment of deep surrender in Kashi is worth a lifetime of penance elsewhere. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, another great soul. These are all great souls. Vivekananda, Tulsidas. Varanasi is the city of light, where the light of learning and the highest spiritual knowledge has shined for ages. And then Kashi is the holiest of all pilgrimages. In Kashi, every step brings spiritual merit. Just residing in Kashi confers blessings equal to countless pilgrimages. So that's where we'll start. That's where the trip starts. We meet in Varanasi. Kashi is Varanasi. And we will visit temples. And this is a shot from that's the Ganges. And they've had this huge campaign for a few decades now of cleaning up the Ganges. And now it's green and it's gorgeous. But this is in the morning, we'll take a boat out and watch the sunrise on the Ganges. And in the night times, they do arti to Ganga every night. And we can also go out in the river and look at that from the water. And it's it's not just a spectacle. It's not like a show. It's powerful what they're doing.
It's so heart opening, like just
Mm.
seeing so many, the arty and seeing so many lights, like you mentioned, it's called the City of Lights. Just
Mm.
being out on the water and seeing, thousands of people and the priests, and it's you just have to be there, look at it, watch it, and then
Mm.
your heart automatically opens. You don't need to chant anything. It's just by being in that place and seeing it, being in that atmosphere, you have to experience it. You cannot describe it in words. You have to just
Mm.
be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Like a lot
beautiful.
of people will want to go just to, because it's a tourist place, but we don't really do tourist, we're spiritual tourists, but we're really, this is a pilgrimage. This is a journey of the soul
Yeah.
and the spirit.
And it's a spiritual pilgrimage. And Varanasi or Kashi is also, you mentioned just, the burning ghats, like it's
Mm.
the highest knowledge about, it's about life and death. Both is
Mhm.
there at that place all together. And for the Hindus, it's completely natural. But I remember when we went there one time, for us, we have sometimes, a little hesitation with the subject death, fear of death. And so
Right.
life and death is always connected to miracle energy. And
Mm.
it's just so wonderful to experience that natural cycle there just by watching it and being there.
Mm. And this is the Kashi Vishwanath temple.
Mhm.
This is the entrance to the temple. You can't take cameras and things into the temple, so you always have things outside the temple. But there's no doubt that, when you talk about cities, there's always the mixture of the commercial and all that stuff, but the spiritual wealth of Kashi, of Varanasi, is unmatched. I mean, it is incredible. And this is the main temple. This is the crown jewel. This is Shiva's temple, Kashi Vishwanath. And you can go to the next slide, honey. Here's some quotes around that. I love the Skanda Purana. A single prayer offering here is equal to the merit gained in thousands of lifetimes. So we're just trying to give some scope as to what we're up to. And the soul level, right? We're carrying karmas, the thing between us and our divinity, the illusion covering our soul. We need that to be taken away. And we also need a strong dose or doses, many doses of high divine vibration energy. And that's what visiting these places does. It charges your soul, it lights your soul with divine energy, high divine vibrations, and it also removes darkness and karmas. And it's not something we can immediately experience. You experience it really afterwards for years. Um, and when you're there, feeling what those vibrations are. So all these things from all these sources of spiritual luminaries and texts, and Shiva's grace is all encompassing at Kashi Vishwanath. A single moment spent in his presence at this temple can transform the darkest soul into light. And yeah, I don't think I have to read everything there, but there you go. Uh, there's the temple from inside. Mm-hmm. It's all covered in. Oh, and this is the Durga Mandir. Yeah, you can do the next one. This is a Mother Divine temple, a Shakti Peeth, one of the 18 top places like Kashi Vishwanath. That temple is one of the top 18 Jyotirlingams, light lingams of light. And then we'll talk more about that when we're there. And the Durga Mandir. This is a Mahadurga, Mother Shakti, Mother Divine, and another reason why uh, sadhus and it's part of visiting this place is a part of soul enlightenment technology. And Mother Divine's place is no different. And this place is not as crowded, and it's got a beautiful tank, and you can sit and meditate there. It's incredibly strong, and you get to do arti. I mean, I did arti probably 5 times there. I just did pradakshina and meditated, got up, went and did another arti because there's not like a huge line. Like Kashi Vishwanath, it would probably take us 30 or 40 minutes in line to get to there. But this Durga temple, we can talk and meditate. And it's just incredible. Let's see the next one. And then
Mm,
yeah. Did you do this
beautiful.
when you guys went there? Did you go out?
Yeah, we did this.
Yeah.
We actually went there for the sunrise, and we did also the boat trip, like going out
Mm.
on the boat. But then we also had a sunrise where we were sitting at the banks and just meditating there peacefully. And yeah, it's just bliss, like all the anandas, just watching it and that silence. It's Yeah, you have to experience it. But definitely we will do that. Yeah. This
Yeah.
was from our last journey, 2019. I think you have been
Mm.
also there at the Kumbh.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was super powerful experience for everybody. And you can see, if you watch their faces, you can really see the peace inside them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And this is one of, look at them. This is right by the Harishchandra Ghat. We did the sunrise, we did the meditation at the Ghat. There was an Agora there who healed one woman who had terrible phobias. And he took her hand and he just held it up and then took a photo. And she said after that, and she had been going, this is a tortured soul. This is a woman who desperately needed healing. And it happened in 15, 20 seconds. And after that, she didn't talk for days. She didn't know what had happened. She was so happy. And she's just like, I don't know what's going on. Like she couldn't get on a bus. She couldn't take a shower alone. It was like a tortured life and everything just gone. And after that, we went and had tea and you have not had the best tea in the world until you've had tea in Kasi, and they make these jalebi. It was just an extraordinary morning. I remember thinking, I could live here very easily. It's such a heaven. And the sadhus, I mean, wherever you see real dedicated, like you can tell from their hair how long they've been practicing. You can tell from their body. You can tell from their energy when you meet them, when they look at you, like sincere, real yogis doing high level channelings. Uh, Wherever you see places that they're gathering, there's a reason. They don't waste a moment. They go for the highest always. These people are not like because they couldn't cut it in society that they decided to become, to go live in the forest or something. No, some of these people were super wealthy. They walked away from empires. It's fascinating stories because in India, the reality of enlightenment and those experiences is known to everybody, and they walk out and they do whatever, they dedicate, like do or die, and some of them go back into society after a time. But Varanasi is just, everywhere you go, there's yogis and uh, siddhas and agoras, and it's just incredible. It's not ordinary to see that. Yeah, please. And then after Varanasi, we'll spend some days in Varanasi. I think 4 days there, and then we head to Allahabad, where the Kumbh takes place. And that on this main bathing day, on this 12-year thing, this peak time, it is something to behold. I don't know what you saw when you were there. I mean, we saw, you know, elephants and horses and gurus and palanquins, and it's just like the happiest parade. They're kings, they have nothing, but they're really like kings in the world, and they're joyous and they're blessed and they're blissed, and it's just an incredible thing to
Mhm.
see.
When I remember being there, like we have been twice there at the Kumbh Mela, and of course it's always crowded. Like I think they're saying on the main bathing days they expect some 50 million people there. But
Yeah.
even though it was so fascinating, even though there are so, those crowds are, it's you probably never experienced crowds like that before.
No.
Even though there are so many people, it's super organized at that time when we have been there.
Mm.
And it was so fascinating to see all the different um, guru traditions, like the Guru Shishya tradition in India, like the
Mm.
yogic tradition, that Vedic tradition, and all the different types of akaras, one coming with the umbrella like a big Maharaj, and then those others naked. So it was
Yeah.
really fascinating that even though, they were separate groups, but they were all joining together in huge joy, and it was amazing.
Yeah, you really get a renewed sense of unity in the world
Yeah,
because they're not competing against each other. They're all doing their different paths, but we're all there for the same reason.
right.
And yeah, no one has ever seen a crowd like that unless you've been to Kumbh Mela. It is the largest human gathering on planet ever. It always has been, and it's continuing to grow. Now, uh, I avoided that in the early years because I heard such horror stories. I mean, the water, I knew I would never get in that water. And so I didn't even go. And then, I heard, people get trampled, and then it was like they didn't have bathrooms. So they made this huge push to clean the Ganges, and then they organize the whole city. And now it's just, I mean, they build this entire city. It's in the winter, when it's not flooded. In the summer, that'll all be underwater. So it's just a temporary, like 8 square mile city and they have police stations all over the place, bathrooms all over the place, rest stations, water stations, phone stations. I mean, they completely take care. And then they build all these kind of bridges, highways. So yeah, it is millions of people, but it's not like you're stuck in this crowd that doesn't move. It's all flowing, it's all moving. Everybody gets to the river. It's really, really impressive. They after the 2013 Mela, which was the largest in history, Harvard did a study of how Indian engineers did that. They don't know how they pulled it off. It was an incredible feat. So it's really well organized, really safe. Really, it's clean. And the water is something you want to get in now. Yeah. Or at least I do. And then I love this. You found some Shiva Lingam, and there's not a Shiva Lingam, there's not a statue, there's not that city, everywhere is littered with holy things. And so you guys found a Shiva Lingam and started doing a process with it. And then you said some saint came up and said, "That's my Shiva Lingam." Like clearly, right? That thing's underwater sometimes, but and
Well,
then he
actually,
loved it. He loved what you were
yeah.
doing.
Yeah, actually, we got feedback from from sadhus. They were watching us from a distance. At that time, we did an initiation. It was a process related to the five elements energies, and some sadhus watched it from a distance. And then I
Mm.
saw after we finished it from a distance, he gave like he was smiling, and he gave a thumbs up, and then he came and he gave us a hug. So they really could feel that we are not there as a spiritual tourists. We are there, also connected to a powerful lineage. And when we did our Homa, like the other picture, like at that time in our Kumbh Mela residence in those tents,
Mm.
we were so lucky because we could do a fire puja directly, at the Ganges, close to the Ganges. And also there, we got really super positive feedback. People, Indians coming to us asking, "Who is your guru?" So it was just magic that night, like being
Hmm.
there at the Ganges and doing a fire puja, and it was really those kind of experiences you will keep really for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
like you always connect back to those moments, you remember them, and then automatically the energy is again flowing. So it's really
Mm.
really treacherous moments. So
Mm. Yeah, we did the same. We we
mm,
didn't do we didn't do a fire. This is remarkable because what you can't see is you're right on the Ganges. You're 50 feet from the Ganges right there. And we'll look at the accommodations, and
yeah.
the place we're staying is right on the Ganges, and we will be able to have a fire homa, hopefully, like that, build a fire pit and do that. And sing bhajans and meet and meditate. But yeah, that same reflection, it is something because uh Sri Kalashwar, he kept us pretty, he was like a mother hen on us. Like we weren't just able to travel and do whatever we wanted to. He was really protective of our energy and our soul and our like that. And so but so I didn't have that kind of exposure except for when I was with him, and or he brought saints to the ashram or something like that. So to be out there and to hear comments from people who are doing this all day, every day for decades and decades and decades. I mean, they're completely sacrificed. And Swami loved that sacrifice, loved that heart. The divine loves the real, they're hard, they're all about it. And to hear those comments and like that, it is a treasure. It also lets it's like a reflection of,
Yeah, it
of
was beautiful
you're
reflection.
doing it right. Keep going. Yeah. Yeah. Some of the parades. And I mean, they just look, I don't know how they look, but this is an incredible, there it is. Okay.
Mm,
That's the beginning of that fire puja, right?
yeah,
And that's where
right.
you stayed right there. Those are the tents. They're
Yeah.
glamping. They're luxury glamping
Yeah,
tents.
And it was so peaceful there, really. Like, I mean, it was, I felt it was also super support for everybody who came with us on that journey. You know, daytime, you're walking a lot. When we walk on the Kumbh Mela, we're walking a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we are in the big crowds. But evening time, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we have that peaceful, super nice place, and you
Mm-hmm.
can digest your experience. We will meet for bhajans and for the puja. So it was such a blessing to have that peaceful, quiet place there in those luxury tents. I have to say, it was really, yeah, a big gift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we our formula is we take care of the body. You know, we don't have to sleep on a bed of nails. We want to be healthy. We want to be safe. We want to, take care and and do the real spiritual things. Those things are not mutually exclusive. We don't have to sleep in the dirt, So being comfortable, being able to decharge, being able to get good rest when you need it, and good food, and not get sick, because high energy is an intense thing all by itself. It
Yeah.
takes a toll on your body. You may not be able to sleep very well. You may not be able to eat very well, or you'll just feel great and you'll just keep going and going and going. But then after 3, 4 days, you'll sleep for a week. The high energy is something that we need to modulate, and we need to take care of the body to do that. So we get the best accommodations available. Can we just scroll through? Look at, they're nice, beautiful rooms. I think they can have twin beds also. This is a king bed, but um, you have your
You
attached
have your
bathroom
own
each,
bathroom. Yeah,
which
it's
is
super nice.
important. Yeah, for Westerners, it's very important. Um, hot water, yeah, hot running water, and then beautiful food and a nice place to eat. Oh, and then I just love it. I'm really like, putting together the slideshow and looking at these images and reliving all that. It, wow, I'm really looking forward to this. And then bhajans, oh, what a heaven.
Mhm.
And bhajans is a spiritual practice. Fire pujas are a spiritual practice. Getting together and talking is a spiritual practice. All these things are facets of how to receive the energy, how to open up to the energy, how to maintain the energy, how to digest the energy. But it's also just an opportunity to be with like-minded souls. We'll have our own gathering within that huge gathering. We'll have our own little community in Kumbh Mela. So,
Exactly. And what you don't see on that picture, like we were singing bhajans under the open sky.
uh,
So, it's
yeah.
it's also not you're sitting in a room and sing bhajans. It was really in the riverbed of the Ganges. It was dry at that time. And then under the open sky. And
Mm,
it was, yeah. Yeah,
mm.
you can see it. If you just need to look at the faces, then you then you don't need to say any word.
Yeah. And then that's the end of that journey. So that's the Kumbh Mela. That's the main journey, Varanasi and Allahabad. And then we're going to do an option, an add-on for this journey. So that'll be its own journey, the Kumbh Mela. And then for those that want to go another 5 days, I think 4 nights, we'll go to Rishikesh, and which is a very, now they call it the yoga capital of the world. And it's just idyllic. It's at the foothills of the Himalayas. That water that's actually the color of the water of the Ganges coming out of the mountains. It's just incredible. And the whole town is vegetarian, and um, it's very westernized, amazing places to eat and shopping, and not like Nordstrom's or something, but you know, you can walk around in this beautiful, idyllic place, and then we go to different. Each day we'll go to a different holy site, because it's also littered with. I mean, Rishikesh. Just because Westerners are there doesn't mean it's lost all its spiritual grandeur. It's also an incredible place. It used to be littered also with yogis and saints. And we go to different places. This place is a cave that's up the river on the Ganges, up the river from Rishikesh on the Ganges. We call it the Jesus Cave. Jesus was in India. He did visit these places. He did go to Kumbh Mela. He did a Kumbh Mela when he was in India, right? Probably several. Uh, and uh, and yeah, and digest the vibrations of what we've received, and also do that in pristine nature. So one will be that millions of people in the heaven of that, and join that consciousness that's created with that. And then we'll go up to Rishikesh and digest those vibrations and see some more beautiful temples. Continue the journey. And this is the cave. This is an active cave. It's right there on the Ganges, and it's just so incredible. And then every night they do, all up and down the Ganges, from Rishikesh is kind of the first place, all the way down to Calcutta. It goes across India and it empties out in the Bay of Bengal. And all along there, every city, they do arti to the Ganges every single night. And it is so wonderful. It is such a heaven to do that. They go and they sing bhajans beforehand. Oh no, sorry, afterwards. And you can dance, and they have, incredible drums and harmonium and singers, and it's a whole thing. It's such a bliss. It's such a celebration of the divine. And
And then what,
time,
can I ask one question?
yeah.
At the Ganges, when they do the arati, like this is also, did you guys take a dip there as well? Like
Oh
in
yeah.
Rishikesh? Yeah, okay.
Oh no.
So
In Rishikesh,
yeah, and
the hotel we're staying has its own private ghat, and so we go down in the morning and do a sunrise process. We'll with the water and a blessing, kind of a little initiation there. Um, and it's cold, but somehow you just have to experience it. Like I was telling, because we were chatting about this before, and the first time I got into the Ganges was in Rishikesh. I mean, we were in India when the Ganges wasn't clean, except for in Rishikesh. Once it got downstream, all the sewer, even though all the sewer and everything, it never has bacteria, right? I don't know if everybody knows that. The Ganges, you could drink that water and you'll never get sick, not from the Ganges, because it does not, bacteria for some reason does not live in that water. It's scientifically proven. And I drank that inadvertently the first time a few years ago. I still wouldn't do that, but I did it inadvertently when I was doing a dunk, and I couldn't believe the feeling. Now I do it all the time. And I don't get sick. I didn't get sick. But my first time I went into the Ganges was there, because it's super emerald green and clear, and it
yeah.
was freezing cold. And then people just wanted an initiation. So I was there for like an hour and a half in that water in winter, and I did not get cold. It's just a marvel. And I did not know, you always hear about these things. Oh, that Mother Ganga came down on Shiva's head when Ganga came, she came on Shiva's head, and then it's because the earth couldn't take the force of that. And then it's Mother Goddess, and that's why they're worshiping. And that all sounds like a nice story. But when you get in that water, you see for yourself. My experience was I suddenly understood. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh, I realized I had always discounted that until I got in there. That is Mother Divine.
That's
That is
true.
Mother Divine.
It was same for me. Also, the first time I took a holy bath at Rishikesh, and to me, it was the most powerful one. It was like after coming up again, it felt like I can only say free, free, really free of everything.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to mention that we will not only go once or have the chance to go in once. Also at Rishikesh, it's an incredible experience. So whoever comes with us also to Rishikesh, this will also be a great opportunity to take a dip there as well.
Yeah. Anyway, you can go twice a day. You can go all day if you want. And then this is Nilakantha temple. This is a Shiva temple. Up a little, you have to, we're in the foothills of the Himalayas, so the scenery is quite different from Allahabad. You're in these idyllic, they're just foothills, but they're huge. And you drive up, and this is actually the temple where Shiva, when the Kumbh Mela is a thing that has a history that started with the churning of the ocean to get the Amrita, the immortal nectar, right? And they churned the ocean to get that. But the first thing that came out was this huge poison, and the only soul, and started destroying the world and everything, and no one could handle it except for Shiva. And he took it and he drank it, and it was so he couldn't swallow it. He holds it in his throat, which is why they call him the blue throat. It burned his throat there. That's why it's blue. He couldn't swallow it, or else he would die, and then the creation would end. But he held that poison, and after he did that, he went to a place to do sadhana to digest that. And this is where he did that. And again, it's hard to talk about these things. You just have to go and experience it. But you look at the people's faces. It's just, we just went in there. It's a little lingam. You go in there and you pour some water on it. Maybe if it's not too crowded, you can hit your head on it. Look at, I mean, it's just your soul drinks, you know, unbelievable vibrations. You are blissed coming out from there. And there's no intellectual way to explain that. You just have to do it.
Mm.
And this is the view from the hotel. This is the hotel where we'll be staying. That's what it looks like. And that's all wild forest over there. And Nilakant is actually on the top of that mountain. And elephants will come out in the river and bathe. And this is the morning process we'll do with that little. And then we have this is down right by the river. You do a fire puja down there, which we will do on our last night as our closing ceremony. And this is another Shakti Peeth. Did you go to Chandi Devi?
Not yet, no, no.
Oh,
But I'm excited to go there.
yeah, there's two
Yeah.
Shakti Peeths right across from each other, which is really, you know, I don't, Rishikesh, that little area, Hardwar and Rishikesh, I think it has 4 Shakti Peeths right there. And 2 of them are just like you cross the river, they're just on either side. So we won't do both, but we'll do Chandi Devi. And you take this gondola up and so powerful. And you just, oh, and Ananda Maha. Yeah. And we'll visit
Mm.
her ashram, a living saint. You'll also get to experience what it's like to go to like Kashi Vishwanath is Shiva. Durga Kund is Shakti. But like Shirdi is Shirdi Baba, you know, who died in 1918. Anandamayi Ma. You know, these are humans, the enlightened souls, and the difference of that and the energy of that. Yeah, she's incredible. That place is incredible. So we'll go see her. And then, yeah, I think that's it. That's enough.
Mm. And also maybe just one additional comment to visiting samadhis. Like we had, you know, we in all those power journeys, like if you visit Shirdi Baba Samadhi or other samadhis in Penukonda, the Jiva Samadhi, we had many times we had it happen that students who came for the first time to visit the samadhi, they meditated there, and then afterwards, you know, some students, they came to me and said like, you know, hey, it's amazing, this soul, you know, this soul in the samadhi, they had really darshan.
Yeah.
They talked to me.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Or some students went to a samadhi and their heart completely opened and they just started crying and they had no connection to that soul before. And so huge heart openings or really divine experiences happen just when you visit and sit in front of a samadhi like that. And visiting a female saint samadhi is something very auspicious because it was Sri Kaleshwar's big wish also to have in the future not only the male saints, to also have the female saints, you know, coming up more powerful in the globe. So for all those females who are coming with us on the journey, that's one thing I'm personally very excited about to visit her samadhi. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's all beautiful. High divine. So we're gonna walk in that world, in those vibrations, in that consciousness, and it's another aspect of creation. It's my favorite. It's our favorite. We live in that. We love that. So it's an opportunity, especially in this incredible time, to journey together and do it together. And we'll share whatever we know and whatever we understand. And I'm so excited to do this with you, you know, to pair up with you and Tobias and Jenny and Hannah. I mean, these are all longtime students of our same lineage. And it's a first for me to do this for us, from Hari also. From Hari, can you come on also? Yeah, so maybe we don't really know what this is our first time doing this. So let's see how this goes. Maybe we can each just say something and introduce ourselves, but this is going to be our team, our group leaders, right?
Yeah, so beautiful to see everybody. I'm Tobias. And I met Swami. It's actually, I just was thinking about it. It's just in August, it was a quarter of a century ago that I met him. So I'm on this journey for over 25 years now. And you guys talked about this beautiful energy, enlightenment, lights, the souls can become light. And for me, if there's so much to talk about, but for me, if I would have to say it in one sentence, Swami was really the living true love for me. It was really the first person in my life, and maybe the only one, who was really 100% living true love, selfless true love, and 100% authenticity. I've never met that before, and I didn't even know that existed. So when I met him, it's like, whoa, wait a second, that's actually what I'm missing in my life, what I'm missing for myself. And then visiting India, it was, now I would say, it's they have that still alive. You know, even the normal person on the street, the poor farmer, he has a ripped off shirt, but you see in his face, they still have something that we have lost in the West. And then even if you go to these places, you visit these saints and these sadhus, you know, and the temples where they're practicing to connect to God and to this energy, actually, right? It's like God is pure love. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're longing for. And it's alive. You can see it in their eyes. You can feel it in your heart. Like you said, Tatjana, you know, some people just opens up, and you can't hold it back anymore because we have it inside of us. We have lost it. And yeah, and that's what we want to share with you. That's what the opportunity to really experience that energy, to experience something that we have lost here in the West. And that's the most, I mean, this timing, it's the Maha Kumbh Mela, it's the most peak day we're going to be there. Varanasi, that's the two, you know, just so powerful spots to visit that and experience that. Yeah. Looking forward to see everybody there. Thank you.
And then Jenny.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Jenny. Some of you I know, some not. I'm looking so forward to being on this journey together. I love to be, you know, to come together as a big group and just doing puja together, singing bhajans together, and really, you know, sharing the stories. You know, I love to listen to all the stories I don't know yet from Ramakrishna and Brahmari, and, you know, like really just connecting. And you guys, you know, whoever is joining, that we just, you know, share and yeah, and to heal, you know, that's what I connect with power spots like that, like we are visiting power spots. And I just remember these days when I came to Penukonda for the first time, it was Swami was not even seen for the first days. You know, he was just up in his rooms, and I was just, you know, getting, you know, settled to the place. And what I could see in my face when I looked in the mirror, that all the stress, you know, it's removing. Like, and that's what I always, when I come to India, I'm experiencing that you just decharge automatically when you are in these energies. You know, you don't even have to sing a bhajan or do like really, you know, just being there. And yeah, I'm super excited to experience that with you all.
Anka.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Hana. I'm from Czech Republic, from Kaleshvara Yoga Center in Brno. And I just have to say I'm looking forward to be on this power journey. Already just watching the slideshow, so many energy came just through those pictures and through your sharing about your experiences there. So it already gave such a big feeling how it will be. And it also brought me back to my memories on our Kumbh Mela journey 2019. And for me, just to remember Varanasi, like our meditations, the sunrise and everything, it was just so much like there was everywhere such a big feeling of unbelievable freedom. Like that was my biggest feeling from Varanasi that it's just place which is creating freedom inside, like nothing is important anymore, like this detachment, this happiness. And I'm just so much looking forward to dive in again. So and I'm happy to do it with such a big group, because I think it will bring again like really big energy to join us together. And what else to say? It will be just great.
When did you first come to India? Did you first go to India?
It was first time 2009, Guru Purnima.
Fine. Yeah, it's a long time. And then Bamhari. Gee, oh yeah, I'll mute.
Hello, everyone. Namaste. Good to see so many faces I know and love, and so nice to see so many new people, actually. Unlike our 5 beautiful guides here, I didn't live in India with a guru, much to my sadness. No. So my introduction to India was actually through Ramakrishna and through our first power journey that was maybe 8 years ago now. And interestingly, oh, you can't hear me? That's rare.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Okay, you can? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No one ever
I can-
accuses me of not hearing me, so okay, good. And yeah, and the first place we went to was Varanasi, and we did our first 2 journeys in there, and we haven't been back in a long time, because if the hardest parts, so Ramakrishna and I, we do these journeys a couple times a year, and the hardest part about India is, if you're a spiritual person, is narrowing down a power journey, because you want to. There's so many amazing places to see, and especially for those of us traveling from the States, you're 27 hours to get there normally, and so anyways, every journey is unique. Every time we're going a little different place, and so I'm so happy to be going back to Varanasi, because it was such a powerful place for me. And I just remember and I've been a lot of places. It felt so out of this time, so of a different world. And it is the oldest, I don't know how you say that, like contiguous city on the planet. There is no older city than Varanasi. So, and it feels that way. It feels just ancient and of another time. And yeah, and the Kumbh Mela, I'm, of course, excited about that. Ramakrishna and I went, but it wasn't one of the 12-year ones, and we didn't go on the main bathing days. So the crowds weren't as much, and it was even still really beautiful and powerful. And this whole Mela of teachers just came together very auspiciously over the Guru Purnima timing. We just saw each other after many, many years, and this kind of thing came together of creating a Mela of these students and people who have been together for a long time. And I do want to say to anyone who's new to joining, you don't have to have any beliefs. You don't have to have a certain guru. You don't have to even know who Shiva or Shakti are. A lot of times people come with us and maybe they've just done yoga or meditation, and just India has called to them. And so we always focus on that and on just inviting you in. So if you're not familiar with some of these things, don't worry. We'll explain everything to you, and more importantly, you'll just feel it and experience it while you're there. And yeah, and I'll share some logistics. So should I go ahead and do that? I'm kind of should I do that? Okay.
Yeah, please.
Sure.
So if you guys want to pop off, you could pop off over and say it doesn't matter. So I'll be the kind of logistics point person for North America, and Ginny and Hannah and well, actually all of us will take questions and do everything, but I'm doing a lot of the logistics and booking the things and helping everything to happen. So with that being said, I just want to answer some common questions. And the first that I started sharing before is how much we care about taking care of you. So if you've never been to India before, don't worry, it's amazing, it's beautiful. From the moment you arrive, we pick you up and you're in our care from that moment forward. And that, even people who've been to India before, they're like, oh, this is the best part. All I have to know is what time to be down in the lobby in the morning. And that's about right. And we stay at very beautiful hotels that are used to cooking for Westerners. So you don't have to, in all of our years doing these journeys, we've never had anyone have a stomach bug, knock on wood. So you don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about any of that. All of your guides that you saw there, Ramakrishna lived in India for 15 years and has been going back the 12 years since. Tatiana and Tobias, 12 years there and back since. And Jenny and Ahana, just a little less. So we're very familiar. We have incredible guides we know there and connections. And that's another special thing that they touched on, is that we are going to be able to arrange for some special meetings with some gurus and Naga Babas while we're there. And we just do our best to give you the absolute most beautiful experience for your time there. I saw someone ask about dates. And if you go to our website, you'll notice there's like an English site and a German site, and the dates are slightly different because if you're coming from North America, it's 27 hours of flying and you lose 2 days, and it's almost exactly 12 hours. So for those of us traveling that far, we have learned this after doing many journeys, you need at least 2 days of rest before you're even kind of starting to get right side up. So unlike our European friends who could kind of hit the ground running, we need a couple days to just take a hot shower, get a good rest. You'll be wide awake in the middle of the night and falling asleep in the day. So we bake in some extra days at the beginning for those of us coming from North America to do that. And like they said, and that's why if you ask how many days is it, it's a little unique depending on when you're arriving. So, but we help you guys with booking your flights, what days to leave. Even for a lot of people coming from North America, a lot of people will add another day or two to have extra time to adjust to jet lag, but that's totally up to you, and we could talk about that in more detail. We also have Zoom calls leading up to the journey. So everyone who's coming will all join together. We'll start a process together. We'll go over details like what to pack, how much money to bring, where do I go once I get to the airport, things like that, all the logistics things. So we won't do that now. That'll just be once you pay your deposit, which brings an important point. In order to hold your spot on this journey, you need to pay the $1,500 deposit. And with other journeys, normally it's like, you have some time, you have some runway, but this is the largest gatherings of humans on the planet. So already a lot of hotels, even in the surrounding area like Varanasi, are booked at like 70% capacity. So we very much expect this journey to sell out. For example, we're having this call here in English speaking, and then tomorrow there'll be one a more friendly European time zone. So there's a lot of people interested. So we do expect that it'll sell out quickly. Because for us, it'll make our lives so much easier to know if you want to go, the sooner the better, especially so we could make sure you get there. So we're offering a pretty good early bird discount of $400 off if you pay your deposit by next Friday, because this is going to be a logistics challenge. It'll be fun for all of us. So the sooner we know, the sooner we have your details, and especially we have people coming from different countries this time. So we're up for the challenge. We're excited. We're actually really excited about it. So please, if you know you want to go, Swami would always say, don't trust the time, just hold your spot. And that'll also help us with helping you. And let's see, other things, common questions. You need a visa. It's actually very easy to get a visa these days. There's a website, you fill out your information, and normally within 2 to 3 days, you have an email and you have your visa. So you just need to make sure you have a valid passport. And again, once you sign up, you'll get a welcome letter from us, and it'll have all this helpful information about where to get your visa, when your flight should arrive, when your flight should leave, if you're staying for the extension, if you're not staying for the extension. So there's a lot of details that I don't want to share with people who maybe aren't quite sure they're coming yet. But once we have people signed up, probably I would say pretty shortly after this, we'll start having calls to start helping get flights and logistics and things like that. And Yeah, is there anything? And I'm just going to look at the chat real quick just to see. And then we'll open it up for, so when and where is a meeting point? Just asking to be able to book a flight. Yes, Imka. So we actually have that in the FAQ section of the homepage. Although for my North Americans, I've actually been working on with my translation in German and Czech. And I realized I forgot to update something on the US, so I'll update that after the call. But that'll be there in the FAQ section. And more importantly, once you pay your deposit and we know you're coming, you'll get a detailed, the FAQ has something, but once you're officially signed up, you'll get a much more detailed letter with a lot more level of detail. So the homepage of our website should provide enough for you to understand if you could book or not. If you live in Dharamshala in the winter, can you join? Sure, yes. Doesn't matter where you live. That's the amazing thing is we're this, and normally we have Canada, Mexico, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, India. So wherever you are in the world, please bring your soul. I think it's going to be one of the things that makes this journey so unique is that we'll be a gathering from people all over the world coming together with this one shared sankalpam, the shared intention, the shared prayer. So, and to me personally, it's hard to say this without doing it, but one of the best parts is always the people. Every year we have like a lot of new people coming, and by the time you leave, you have lifelong friends, you have this incredible shared experience. So my favorite part is kind of seeing all the names once they start signing up and getting to know all of you. And I'll put my email here in the chat, and on the German side and on the Czech site, they have their emails. So reach out to us. We're all very easy to get a hold of and want to help you. So we know it's a lot to book a trip like this to India. And so we're doing our best to create really detailed information to share with you. But even if that's not enough, feel free to call and ask. Oh, and another thing we should discuss quickly is normally there is a lot of walking involved at the Kumbh Mela. Once you get into the Kumbh Mela, it's basically by foot. And I think the whole Kumbh Mela campsite itself is half the size of Manhattan or a quarter of the size of Manhattan. I mean, it goes on for miles. Now, with that being said, there's no need to walk all of it. The location we've selected is really close to the main bathing spot so that we could get there. So just be prepared for walking and know that about your physicality. If you have questions about that or worries about that, reach out and we could talk to you more. So definitely good shoes, but I'm seeing Jenny, Tatiana, Tobias. You agree with that? It was a good amount of walking, right? Yeah.
Sure.
And there's sometimes they're tuk-tuk, sometimes they're not. I remember we went for a walk and we took a tuk-tuk there and we thought, well, we'll just take one back. And that was not the case. So we had a lovely long evening stroll back to our campsites. Cannot find the meeting point in the Q&A. Yes, it will be in Mumbai. So we'll all be flying into Mumbai. So that will be and then from Mumbai, we fly to Varanasi. The average temperature this time of year is quite lovely. It's really lovely. It's 7, and sorry for any Europeans, you could do the conversion for me, but it's around the 70s during the day. And in the evenings, it could get down into the 50s. So bringing things like a sweater or a light jacket, especially like for Varanasi on those sunrise boat rides or the evening boat rides, or just, and if you're coming for Rishikesh, normally during the day, it's just lovely. It's just really lovely. And
23 degrees Celsius.
23 degrees Celsius, thank you. And walking miles or kilometers. Well, it's a lot of miles and a lot of kilometers. I would say be prepared to walk, I don't know, up to 2 or 3 miles a day, over the course of a day. It's not like you're power walking straight, but it could be,
7, 8, 9, 10 kilometers.
Yeah, so it's and maybe there'll be different groups, and that's the thing about having a lot of nice guides. Maybe there will be some people who are like, I want to be on the short walking tour and I want to be on the long walking tour and like that. But I just say that because if you're someone who has like knee or hip problems or any kind of physical things, That's just something to keep in mind. But our location where we're at is right near the main bathing ghats. And even if you're not up for long walks, the camps are very beautiful. And like we showed in the slideshow, in the evenings we'll be there meditating together, doing fire pujas together, singing kirtan together and bhajans. So yes, and yes, again, we do start and end in Mumbai. If for some reason, and we could talk about this, like if you're already in, let's say if you're already living in India, then maybe it would make sense you could fly and meet us in Varanasi, because for example, those coming from Europe, it's simply they're flying, let's say from Frankfurt, and they're landing in Mumbai in the morning, and then at 11 a.m. they're getting on a flight to Varanasi. So they're not really spending time there. For us, North America, who are traveling for a while, we're going to stay a couple nights in Mumbai, but the journey doesn't really officially start until we're in Varanasi. So I hope that helps answer that question, because for the person who asked earlier, if they're already in India, I would think for them it would make more sense, probably just, we'll tell you our hotel in Varanasi and you could arrive there. And instead of going into all these, and we'll be in Varanasi on the 23rd. And again, if you're definitely coming, and so we'll be in Varanasi on the 23rd. That's the day we fly to Varanasi. And on the 30th is the day we'll fly out of, and by the way, you might have heard Allahabad and Prayagraj both said, same place. So it used to be called Allahabad, now it's called Prayagraj. So we'll be flying out the Prayagraj airport back to Mumbai. And then for those going home, they'll catch their flight back to Europe or America or New Zealand, wherever they're going. And for those of us continuing on to Rishikesh, then we'll continue on and fly to Rishikesh. And so, Manjari, I will, for the hotel and all that stuff, I'll provide that level of detail for those who are definitely going. I don't want to overwhelm with minutia and for people, but very happy to get that all to you. And let's see. I'm just going through my checklist. Anything else? Yeah, just if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you want to come, please pay your deposits, because I do think it's going to fill up very, very, very quickly. And if you have any questions, I will put my email address here. And be sure, before you ask those questions, just review all the FAQs, because we really tried to put a lot of information in there. For North America, please just give me about 45 minutes after this call, because I realize flight information I need to update there. There's a typo. And yes, we'll leave Allahabad on the 30th. Okay, so I think, and now we could open it up, by the way, we could open it up for questions. And you could raise your hands or put it in the chat. And Emka's asking if we have a max number of people we're accepting. We don't have a firm number right now. One will be restricted by the availability. Normally, I know both, this is the Germans and this is how we do too. We normally do put a cap because we like to keep it to a certain size. But we are going to keep it to a certain size that feels good, that everyone gets a personal experience, that everyone is well taken care of. You know, we're walking into a sea of millions of people, so we want to make sure we have enough guides per people coming. And then I just naturally, by hotel availability and tent availability, there will be some limit there. But I can't say, oh, exactly, it's going to be this number right now. We'll have days and nights. We'll have basically like 3.5 days in Varanasi and 3 at the Kumbh Mela. Or you could say 3 1/4 or 3.5 at the Kumbh Mela. So it's like that, right? So you kind of like fly in and you have that evening and then the full days. So we'll have, is it 2.5 full days or 3.5 full days of the Kumbh Mela?
Kumbh Mela.
We arrive one day, we have all, and we are going to arrive early because we're coming from Varanasi. So we'll have that day and then we'll have,
It's 2.5.
yeah, of the full, and we're there on the royal main bathing day, and we depart after that next day, the next afternoon after the royal main bathing day.
Yep.
And we'll fly out of anyhow, we'll get into those details.
Yeah.
That all those details are
We
there
have
for when
something
you-
written with a very detailed itinerary.
Yeah,
That's
for logistical questions like that and booking your flights and everything, that welcome packet, that registration packet will have everything you need and more. And then also you can reach out to Jenny or Amka or Brahmhari. And then other than those questions, there's
Allison has her hand unraised, so I'll ask her to unmute. Hi, Allison.
So good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. So this is a weird sort of question. So I am new to all things India. And so in my mind, I've always had the idea of going to like Panakonda first or Shirdi and just like a little bit more quiet, things. But I don't know, this trip comes along and I keep looking at it. I'm like, oh, it's so many people, it's the kind of freaks me out a little bit. But then I'm looking at the slideshow and the one slide where I think Ramakrishna, you were talking about, some of these people they look like beggars or something like that. And some of these people have chosen to leave society and stuff. The one picture, like his eyes, all of a sudden, I wanted to cry. Don't ask me why. So I'm like, okay, there's something here. Let me be open to it. Have you had any experience where someone feels overwhelmed? Like this is so many people. So I imagine it would not be easy to kind of, leave and go back to the tent or something like that. Like any thoughts on that?
a few thoughts, and we'll be ready for that. But I'll tell you an interesting experience. It wasn't at the Mela, it was actually in Shirdi with one journey that we did. And they didn't tell us ahead of time, but there were two people and they didn't know each other, and so they didn't know, but with extreme claustrophobia, could not get in an elevator, could not go on stairs. But they didn't tell us that beforehand. We didn't know. So there we are in line on a Guru Day in Shirdi, and something happened which very rarely happens. I hadn't seen it happen for decades, honestly. And it was like the people just thronged all of a sudden, and they were around her, and but it got so packed, like women especially were packed, that it lifted her off the ground a little, and she could not move, and she had a panic moment, and she told Brahmhari, and then our group was all kind of right there, and so then we just made a circle and pushed it out for her, and she was just standing there, and then we're like, do you need to go back to the hotel, and we'll take you back right there. And she's just standing there and she's looking down, she's like, no, I don't want to. Yeah, okay, let's go. And so then we kept a circle around her kind of, and then she said, I'm okay. And then we didn't do that anymore. We didn't really know. Later that day, she told us that she was fine, that somehow in that line, that all vanished. And then as the trip went on, that was the beginning of the trip, 2 weeks later, she said she didn't have any of those feelings anymore. And then months later, she was completely healed of claustrophobia. And it happened the same thing with another woman on that same trip in the same way, exactly. So yes, I am not going to say that you're healed of claustrophobia. And I understand the fear of things. And it's something we have to, because there's millions of people. And we'll have strategies around that. But you will be able to head back if you feel uncomfortable. But also, we're going to be there as a group. And we're there to support each other and take care of each other. You're not going to be alone. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're in a group, how you can feel alone, it's not that. We're all together. We're one.
Thank you for that, Ramakrishna.
Yeah. But yeah, that soul, that calling, that pull, that's exactly what happens. You're talking about thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of soul doctors, people who operate on the soul, people who are living in another world, in this world, and all day, every day, and know the reality of things and know how to help and what to do. And we're just going to walk amongst them.
Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Allison. Let's see, for suggestions for best travel insurance. That'll also be in the packet. There's plenty of options, and you should get travel insurance for anything like this, just because of eventualities, and you never know. It is an investment, so you want to take care of that, and it's not very much, and well worth it.
Well, it's actually going to create a special one.
Oh, wow. So we're actually going to have a company create a special travel insurance for this journey for us. And spot insurance. They do it for like athletes who are climbing Everest and things like that. And
Not that we need that now.
not that we need that.
Oh.
A friend started this insurance company, so she's gonna. That's fantastic. She's gonna create a special insurance package for anybody going on this journey. Great, you'll be covered, and that means anything, anything, hospitals, hotels. If the flight gets canceled, if the trip you can't make it because you get sick beforehand or something, or whatever eventuality. Okay, anything else? All right. Tatiana, you feel good?
Yes, very good,
Okay.
very happy, very excited, and really, to me, it's something special that we're doing this together as a big group, and yeah, just the preparation already, the energy, it's like boom, like that, and I feel it's also very special that yeah, we are having this call today on Ganesh's birthday, and it's something new, and I'm so happy, that we haven't been seeing each other since a long time. We spent a long time together in Penukonda in
Yeah.
India. And after Sri Kalashwar's Samadhi, we haven't physically met.
Yeah.
We had contact here and there, but not
Yeah.
like that. And so I feel very happy, that this came out of that meeting. And so it feels good that we're joining in the spirit of the Kumbh. And yeah, it feels just wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to celebrate that there at the Kumbh. It's a celebration. It's a big positive, high energy event, and so I'm very much looking forward to be together with everybody on that journey.
Me too. Brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Okay. Tobias, you good? Didn't say anything?
Yeah, I'm looking forward. It's so exciting. And I think there was one question in the chat from the UK. So maybe for English speaking, because we have the German side, which kind of covers the European side, right? So if you're English speaking European and want to arrive on the 22nd, just write the email to info@kaleshwar.eu, and then we'll take care and we communicate.
And there's Vishvashanti. Sorry.
If you mute, I'll just add because someone asked what's explained in price, what's all included in the price, and that's a really good question and something I meant to explain. So apologies, I didn't explain that, but almost everything. We try and make it as inclusive as possible. So definitely all breakfasts are included. Some, especially like at Kumbh Mela, all meals are included. In Rishikesh, breakfast and dinner is included. If you take meals on your own, or like I'm imagining at the Kumbh Mela, like if you're out walking and you're getting food somewhere that's not at the tents, and you're paying, for that out of your own pockets, laundry, but all your flights in India are included. All transportation in India is included. All tips are included. Temple fees are included.
We take care of
accommodation.
We take care of tipping and handling the money like that. You don't want to deal with that. When you pull out your money in India, you need to know there are consequences. So we take care of all that, and also the right amount and all that stuff is confusing. You don't, like if you go shopping or you get your own meals outside, but all transportation, once you land in India, basically we want to take care of you completely. And not all lunches or something like that, because we'll be together for, and some people will, like in Rishikesh or whatever, you might go, and the Kumbh Mela will be together eating those meals at that place. So all those meals will be taken care of 3 times a day. In Varanasi, certainly breakfast and probably dinner if we come together and do that. They'll make a buffet for us. So, but other than that, yeah, just personal shopping. And if you take a taxi somewhere, or little things, but those are not huge expenses. I mean, you can get a meal for $4, $3, $5. You can get a taxi for $1. If you do something by yourselves, but otherwise we want to try to take care of, so you're not getting nickel and dimed and you don't have to worry about that stuff. All right. And Johanna Bueller, another long time part of our group. We're a small group around Swami, and she's there. She's so happy. Why can't you come? Vishwashanti. Anyhow, so exciting. This is really, who knows, the next opportunity will be in 12 years. And who knows what will happen in this world in 12 years. So if you want to do it, I don't know of anybody who's gone on these journeys and regretted it. I know it's a huge commitment in so many ways. But it is life-changing, and this is a peak time, and it's a very special time. And I'm not like we came together in Guru Purnima, like we hadn't seen each other. I mean, we're just Swami passed, and we all of a sudden, we've been living in India, not making money, and right, and then you have to go back, and all of a sudden have to take care and figure things out. And you're across the ocean. It's not like I could have just jumped a ticket so what a beautiful coming together. And Guru Purnima and Guru Purnima, we just rekindled our love. I mean, we just haven't been together. So it was just, I don't know. I love you so much, and so happy to be doing this with you. And it feels divinely guided, isn't it? Everything came together in a divine way. It wasn't planned at all. And it's just happens. And there's always a good sign. So, and Sri Kaleshwar is his name is not well known, but he was a boss soul, right? He would see you would see like those kind of sadhus that you saw in those pictures. They would come down and fall on his feet, and he would be smaller and younger than all of them, right? I mean, one time there was a group of, anyway, he was always the biggest. He was the top guy in the room for anything, and we're not doing the my guru's greatest thing. I'm just letting you know he could demonstrate miracles on tap. The three of us together have seen thousands of miracles for sure. I've seen probably 1,000. You've seen, I mean, collectively we've seen thousands and thousands of miracles, really incredible things. And we've done things together, and that I'm looking forward to spending time because those things can open up and be shared in the right energy, in the right way. It pulls it, right? And that's going to be one of the facets of this trip, of this journey, is that kind of opening and that kind of energy flowing. And happy to share those experiences. Had some really extraordinary things. Right? Collectively, these eyeballs have seen something.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Definitely, yeah, experience. I think this is also, where the Amrita will flow, just by sharing our experiences, those memories, they bring back the energy. And like Tobias, you shared it in a beautiful way. He was both. He always said, you need both love and power. You need really both. And he was an embodiment of love, really pure divine love, but also power, Shakti. And by sharing those moments, miracle experiences, also, personal moments from our own transformation, our block washing, like heart opening things. And so it just brings back the energy of those moments. And and for sure we will share a lot during that during our
they're
journey.
sacred things, and they need to be shared in the right way. But miracle, I mean, just to give a context of something, like a basic miracle would be something like manifesting ash, or transporting objects, or manifesting objects just out of the air, or healings. The things that just blew my mind were the healings. I mean, just to see, how many snake bites and scorpion bites, people dying on the moment, and then healed. I mean, I didn't see one fail. And then also giving in divine experiences, seeing and talking, Mother Divine, angels, Baba, Jesus, Hanuman, Shiva. It's extraordinary. It's way out of the normal, what we normally conceive of as the world. But that's the world. That's the reality world. That spiritual world is the reality world. And I think everybody here knows that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this call. And that's the world that all those millions of souls coming together live in and interact with. And that's why they come together, one part, to share that. And the nectar does flow when souls come together. And just walking in that place, I remember just walking around thinking, this is incredible. It's just you're just walking in a different consciousness. When the consciousness changes, everything is different immediately. Yeah. And to have that experience, then that's a reality that you can have in your life. You can live, you'll know that. Once you know something, then you can develop it and grow it for yourself. All right.
Beautiful.
We're over an hour and a half, but hopefully everybody's happy. Yeah, most people still here. So anyway, thank you so much. And again, like the tents thing is already 70% booked up. The hotels in Varanasi, the majority of those hotels, like we had to just make reservations just to hold rooms for the possibility. You know, I think right now we have like 30 rooms held. And so we may be doubling up if we have 50 people, you know what I mean? But the tents and the Kumbh Mela, you can't get more of those. And those are, you know, even now 70% sold out. So if it's something that you want to do, as soon as you know, please give a deposit, because we can't give a deposit for things, because once you give that money, you never get it back. That's just India. So we hold the rooms with money. And once it takes money for us to hold your spot. So that's why we need you, if you're going to do it, send in your deposit. And then if we have if we have more people than there are rooms, then it's going to be first come, first serve. And that's not a sales pitch. That's just the way it's going. This is 50 million people coming, 40 million people. Like on one day, it'll be 20 million people. And then they'll all be gone by night. It's incredible. It's just a horde, and then they disappear. Incredible. But we want those, we want those to stay in those accommodations. They're right on the river. They're right where the peak, where all those Naga Babas are going to come and start the whole Mela. That they're the first ones that get in the water. They bless the water. Right where that happens is where we're staying. And we can have a fire puja there. So we want those accommodations. I hope you understand. So I'm not trying to give the hard pitch. I'm letting you know the reality situation. By the time we planned this, actually, we started it with a travel agent, right? And before they got back to us, it was 3 weeks had gone. And then by the next day, we decided we had to do it ourselves. And by the next day, we had everything done, right? But by that time, once we checked, it was at that point, a week ago, it was already 70% booked, or 10 days ago. So time is a factor here. And if you want to go, let's do it.
And speaking of doing it organizing it ourselves, not with a travel agent. I mean, this is like many, many years of experience with power journeys we're bringing to the table. Yeah. And it will be well prepared and well planned. And same time, the nature will support us. We always had that experience, and bring us things that we haven't planned before. It will be beautiful experiences that we don't know yet what will be. But it's always, we have that experience, the power journeys that we did, and I'm sure it's the same that you did. There's always the nature giving some challenges, same time giving blessings and open doors, and do things that we have never planned before, like crazy things we have no time to talk about. We will talk about it on the journey, and we will experience it. So
that's the nature of a power journey. You're definitely on a power journey. You're following the divine. The divine isn't following you. You're following the divine. So there's obstacles, but then there's
and they want us to experience something. They're waiting for us to come, and they will give us the opportunities to experience it.
God, I love it. I'm so ready for this. All right. All right. Let's say our thank yous and our goodbyes and sign off, and hope to see you all in India in January, if not sooner, for this small and huge gathering of souls. And I am so looking forward to doing this with you guys. And all my love from Austin, Texas.
See you soon.
Germany, Europe.
Yeah, all our love from here.
Thank you. And we'll play the slideshow on the way out if you want to enjoy that one more time. Bye.